Ben inanıram. Ben tam inanıram ki.
I fully believe that everything will change for the sake of justice in our region.
Azerbaycan xalqının bəza vəziyyəti.
The suffering of the Azerbaijani people will change in their favor. You will definitely go and see your beautiful Goycha in the future.
Gözəl Göyçə torpağını da görəcəksiniz.
You will see your native mountains, springs, rivers.
Bulaqlarınızı, çaylarını da görəcəksiniz.
The great leader of Azerbaijanis, Heydar Aliyev, in his speech in front of the Azerbaijanis who were forcibly expelled from Armenia during 1987 to 1991 deportation, expressed his deep belief for their return to homeland. Heydar Aliyev's dedication, who always cared for Western Azerbaijanis, to our cause, continues to inspire our mission. On December 24, 2022, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev's visit to the Western Azerbaijan community, his address to the meeting with a group of Western Azerbaijani intellectuals, instilled hope.
Qərbi Azərbaycan bizim tarixi torpağımızdır.
Western Azerbaijan is our historical land,
Tarixi sənədlər təsdiqləyir.
which is confirmed by a number of historical documents, historical maps, and our history itself.
Ancaq əfsuslar olsun ki, ermənilər Qarabağdakı
Unfortunately, the Armenians razed all our historical and religious monuments in Western Azerbaijan to the ground, as they did in Karabakh.
dağıdıb Azərbaycanlıların tarixi irsini
They wanted to erase the historical heritage of the Azerbaijani people,
çünki tarix var, sənədlər var, xəritələr var.
but they could not achieve their goals. Because there is history, there are documents, and there are maps.
Əvvəllərinə təsadüf edən xəritə bir də onu göstərir ki, Qərbi
The map displayed in this building, dating back to the beginning of the 20th century, once again shows that Western Azerbaijan is the historical land of Azerbaijan.
bilirik ki, indiki Ermənistan ərazisində
The names of cities and villages are of Azerbaijani origin, and we know perfectly well that the Azerbaijani people have lived in the territory of the present-day Armenia throughout history.
bilsin, artıq bu istiqamət
The main task now is to let the whole world know about that. Work in this direction has already started, but I'm sure that the community will do this work in a more focused and result-oriented manner.
nəticəyə hesablanmış tərzdə aparacaqdır.
After President Ilham Aliyev's visit to the community building and his recommendations on the concept of return of Azerbaijanis to Armenia on January 26, 2023, the community adopted its concept of return, rejecting the injustices committed over the past 2 centuries and declaring their primary goal to create conditions for the return of expelled Azerbaijanis and ensure their rights based on international law. The Azerbaijani people have suffered greatly from armed conflicts, occupation, and ethnic cleansing over the past 2 centuries. Azerbaijanis constituted over 80% of population in the Khanate of Yerevan, whose territory largely corresponds to that of nowadays Armenia. After the treaties of Gülistan and Turkmenchay in 1813 and 1828 between Russia and the Qajar state, a large number of Armenians were moved to South Caucasus region. The Articles 12 to 15 of the Turkmenchay Treaty dealt with the settlement of Armenians in the Azerbaijani Khanates, the granting to them privileges and other incentives. As a result, large number of Armenians were settled in the Karabakh and Yerevan Khanates. Soon, Armenian extremists started pressure against indigenous Azerbaijani people of these Khanates, including Yerevan Khanate, by the decision dated 1918. Azerbaijan National Council, Milli Shura, compromised the city of Yerevan to the Armenians as a capital city. After 3 independent countries, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia had been established in the Caucasus. However, this short-sighted and wrong step only intensified Armenia's territorial claims. The government of independent Armenia, which existed in 1918 to 1920, widened systematic extermination of Azerbaijani population in the territories it claimed, most notably in Yerevan, Zangezur, and other regions. In 1948-53, upon instigation of the government of the Armenian SSR, over 100,000 Azerbaijanis were deported from the Armenian SSR, and Armenians from abroad were settled in their homes. This deportation, ordered by Joseph Stalin, resulted in the deaths of many of the over 100,000 deportees due to bad living conditions and harsh climate conditions. The last deportation between 1987 and 1991 turned Armenia into a mono-ethnic country. Over 300,000 Azerbaijanis were forcibly displaced, with 216 brutally killed. Their homes were destroyed, property was forcibly taken. The complete expulsion of Azerbaijanis from what is now Armenia, where they once constituted the majority and lived as their ancestral land, was finalized in 1991. As a result of ethnic cleansing, no single Azerbaijani lives in those lands. These acts were systematically carried out with state support, involving violence, genocidal acts, and other crimes against humanity.
They took our properties, cattle, and money by force, broke into our houses, threw us out of there, made us leave.
Azerbaijani cultural heritage in Armenia is being systematically erased. More than 300 mosques and 500 cemeteries have been demolished. The sole remaining blue mosque in Yerevan is falsely presented as belonging to another nation. The Tepebashi quarter of Yerevan, the last remaining piece of Azerbaijani settlement architecture, is being demolished to erase the last traces of Azerbaijanis in the city. Azerbaijanis expelled from Armenia have historically been known as Western Azerbaijanis, a term used both by themselves and others. The use of Western Azerbaijan as the name of the community is based on a fundamental human right of self-identification and does not carry any political or territorial implications. Azerbaijanis expelled from Armenia first organized as the Society of Azerbaijani Refugees in 1989. This body continued its activities until August 1, 2022, when it was restructured as the Western Azerbaijan Community. The community represents all segments of Western Azerbaijanis, with most of its leadership consisting of well-known intellectuals. The community has very active women's and youth branches, demonstrating strong support for the cause among expelled Azerbaijanis. An initiative group on the return to Western Azerbaijan was created in the Parliament of Azerbaijan. On the 5th of December in 2023, a similar first conference was held in Baku, dedicated to the deportation day of Western Azerbaijanis. 8 documents from the Western Azerbaijan community, including the concept of return, were circulated as official documents by the UN Security Council, General Assembly, and Economic and Social Council. Representatives of the Western Azerbaijan community have participated in conferences of the UN Human Rights Council and the OSCE Human Dimension Conference. In May 2024, the OIC Summit's 57 member states adopted a decision to support the right of return for Western Azerbaijanis and condemned Armenia for the destruction of Muslim heritage in that country. On August 1, 2023, the Western Azerbaijan community launched its television channel. On May 1, 2024, the staff moved into its permanent office. The channel operates in 3 languages: Azerbaijani, English, and Russian, and offers various programs on Western Azerbaijan, its own news segment, and discussion programs on current issues. The launch of the channel attracted significant interest both in the country and in the region. Western Azerbaijanis have many notable intellectuals, such as Miskin Abdul, Hüseyin Khan Kajar, Ashik Ali, Abbasgalu Bey Shedlinsky, Mustafa Bey Topchubishov, Aziz Aliyev, Afshan Gadimbayova, and others. As mentioned above, ethnic cleansing shattered the Goichi Mahal Ashik School, the cradle of Azerbaijani Ashik art, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible heritage of humanity. The inclusion of Ashik art in UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage, initiated by First Vice President Mehriban Aliyeva, played a crucial role in the revival and resilience of the Goichi Mahal Ashik School and the works of its luminaries, including Ashik Alaska, as universal cultural values. Unfortunately, the monument of Ashik Alaska, which was erected in 1972 in his native Ag Kilsa by the initiative of the great leader Heydar Aliyev, was demolished after the deportation of Azerbaijanis in 1987-91. On September 30, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev, along with his son Heydar Aliyev, participated in the unveiling ceremony of a statue of the prominent figure of Azerbaijani ashik art and great folk artist Ashik Alaska in Baku.
Bugün Qərbi Azərbaycanlıların
Today, the erection of a monument to the prominent representative of Western Azerbaijanis is naturally, first and foremost, a sign of the Azerbaijani people's respect for the memory of Ashik Alaska.
Eyni zamanda bu abidə bütün Qərbi Azərbaycanlıları
However, at the same time, this monument is an event that calls all Western Azerbaijanis and the entire Azerbaijani people to unite once again for a common cause. We eagerly await that day, and we believe, I believe, and you believe too. The day will come when we will restore Ashik Alaska's monument destroyed by Armenians, and we will hold a similar ceremony in the village of Agkilsa.
kəndində buna oxşar mərasim keçirəcək.